Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, good whatever, wherever you find yourself. This is Demystify Tech with Sam. Yours truly here to serve you with awesome technology stuff, demystifying what you think or you thought you knew about that tech. I'm here to demystify that, to make that easy for you to understand. I talk about, different forms of tech across all the ecosystem, and that's what I do on this show. In today's episode, this is the very first episode for 2022, but other shows have already started. This is the very first episode for 2022. So we're going to be taking a look at what to expect in 2022. And then also, it's the last Friday of the month. So which means that I come your way with Ask Me Anything, kind of like a very informal session. Ask me any question you want to ask about tech. If it's in the area of my expertise, hey, I'll answer it for you. Let's talk about project. Let's just have a casual conversation about tech. Focus on this year is trying to get people onto different technology stacks. So I will be focusing on a lot of, how to getting started sessions this year, but I won't give it all away. Let's go for our intro. When we are back, we're going to talk about all the good stuff. Stay with me. Yes, we are back and welcome. If this is your first time, this is Demystify Tech with Sam. Yours truly, Sam Olatrani, here to demystify technologies to the barest minimum for you to understand. Before we took the montage, I was explaining what's going to happen in today's episode. It's the first episode in 2022, and we're going to be talking about, pretty much what to expect this year, and then also it's last Friday of the month. So pretty much we're going to do a lot of Ask Me Anything. So if you have any tech questions, welcome. Whether you're joining from Facebook, from YouTube, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, anywhere you're joining things, and I'll be glad to answer it. Apologies for starting a bit late. I was in an equally important, meeting that took, the time. But hey, today's session is more casual and nothing crazy, so it's okay. We'll try to finish at the top of the hour. So if you have any questions, make sure you throw them in for me. I will be monitoring on all my social media platforms. So if the question comes in, I will try to answer that. One of the things that I set out to do this year for most of the stream is to make sure that we get a lot of people. So that means that we'll be doing a lot of how-tos, getting started, videos, short videos, a lot more shorter videos. Most of you have said, can the videos be short? Well, yes, we will try to make them short, but as the show is, it's a live recording. So it's a live show, right? I'm not pre-recording and premiere doing a live show. So sometimes it's just to give you an insight into how I do things, and then also for you to appreciate the fact that it's not always, rosy on the other side. Sometimes we spend hours and hours and hours trying to perfect and make things happen, and then eventually we show it to you. I want to take you through the process, so you will see me fail, you see me crash, you see me, do all the things that you thought superhumans don't do. You see me go through all that stuff. Hey John, welcome to the stream. Awesome. John is joining us from LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Oh, we have our people joining from when are we conducting Bot Composer to WhatsApp. Thanks, Edward. So yeah, those are the things we're going to be talking about in today's session. So like I said, it's a live stream, so you're going to see me fail. You're going to see me Google stuff. At some point, what I really want to do this year is that you might even see me call my fellow MVPs or call fellow friends. If they are available, you see us per program on the show to solve the problem. So that's what the show is all about. Hey, Ima, hey, awesome. Ima is also in from LinkedIn. Thanks for joining. I hope the audio and the video is all good for you guys. So pretty much that's what to expect. That's what to expect this year. Somebody's cracking me up in one of the channels here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in. I would answer it and then we'll walk through it. I appreciate you all joining. And for those of you who are also interested in a lot of tech stuff, John also does a lot of live streaming, so go check him out. Also some content there. So the first question was, when are we connecting Bot Composer Premiere to WhatsApp? Well, so those of you who are following the channel, and please, yes, if you're not subscribed, please, it costs nothing. Just go subscribe to the YouTube channel and see awesome content from IoT, AI, bots, 3D printers, robotics, all the crazy stuff. Just go subscribe, ask your friends to subscribe so we have fun. So last year we started with Bot Composer Framework. We went through a whole series, and all of it is on YouTube. We went through a whole series where we created a bot, went through the different stages: authentication, calling APIs, third party. We did all that with a bot framework composer, right? Now, we pretty much exhausted all the list. However, we had the opportunity to do some other third party integrations. So, which one of them was WhatsApp, right? One of them was WhatsApp. Now, the thing with WhatsApp is that, there's nothing wrong with it. We can do it. But the thing with WhatsApp is that it would have to go through a third party company. Now, WhatsApp doesn't allow for us to directly connect with systems. You'd have to go through a third party company. So far, like Twilio, like Sinch, Infobabe, these are like the three that I know of. Now, you need to go through. Thanks for the good vibes. Thanks. So you need to go through this providers or aggregators to be able to initiate WhatsApp chats. Now, the other thing to also bear in mind is that connecting to WhatsApp is not free. That's one thing you need to understand. It's not free. This is why. I think that the two ways of initiating the conversations. One is if you as an entity initiate like a chat session with a client, it costs you some amount, all right, and it varies for other platforms. Now, on the other hand, as well, when your client initiate a conversation with your conversational bot, they also charge you some amount, all right. So, but it's pretty much a bit lesser compared to you initiating it. So, in all that, I think for all of it, a session can last about 24 hours. So within that 24 hours, you don't pay anything, but if it goes beyond 24 hours, you'll be charged another. So that's just to show you, that's just to explain that there are some cost factors associated with it, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. So good call. It's still on the list because I was going to start with, okay, what do you want, as fans and people who are subscribed to the channel and watch it all the time, what do you guys want us to start with? Like I mentioned, we're going to talk about a lot of how to get started, very, very basic things so everybody can catch on to it. And then we can follow up with more advanced and crazy stuff. Now, to tease you a bit. Now, last year I made mention that I was personally drawn to a few things when it comes to technology, and one of them is the whole thing about the metaverse. I think that it's going to be a game changer, in a lot of things, and it's time that a lot of people took keen interest in the metaverse. And you could be, and I explained on another video that you can be a software developer, an architect, real estate. Everybody technically has some form of part to play when it comes to the metaverse. And one way is to start creating content. I know people already are creating content. A couple of days ago, I chanced on, I'm trying to remember, let's see. Let me see if I can, if I can get his Twitter handle. I chanced on, and he's amazing. Like I think he's an Oculus ambassador now. He does a lot of content, on VR, AR, crazy stuff, and I'm like, look, there is a big market coming out there for these things, right? So the earlier you get into it, the better. So I want to also see, is it possible to start some kind of, series on the show where for a couple of, episodes, we talk about, getting started, at least from the beginning all the way to a certain point where you're conversant, and then you can take it off and do advanced stuff. And then from that point, we would basically just be putting out content on the blog or short videos later on. That's one thing. I also, mention stuff in the areas of drones, create a lot of interesting stuff happening. How you can get into drone programming, in the sense where, you can use it, not just fly and take pictures, but how you can leverage it into solving real life problems. That's something we can also look at. So, and then conversational bot is another thing I want to also look at. And when I say conversational bot, building bots to integrate into your, your solutions end to end. Now, for that, two things are going to happen. All right. Already, we've done a lot when it comes to bot composer framework from Microsoft. Right. For those of you who don't know, I've also dabbled in creating skills for Alexa. Right. I think I was one of the few people who started doing that somewhere. I mean, quite, when it started in the state. I was in Portland then, and myself and Steve, a few people in the community, crazy people to jump onto it. And then I think I also did the very first ever Alexa skill workshop here in Ghana with NIT. And so the other thing I want to do is bring it to the people where, how do you build conversational bots? Especially now, a lot of people have Alexa and Google Homes and all these Google Home devices and all that. How do you build conversational bots with it to interact with your services? Today, would it be cool to say, hey, Alexa, buy me data or top up my credit? And then you interact that with your, let's say, backend USSD device, or say, hey, Alexa, send X amount of CDs to someone. And then you get a USS prompt on your phone, or you can say, hey, hey, Siri, do something for me, things like that. How do we use this technology to do? So these are things. So the three areas I want us to look at, where I'm going to put out a vote, or just comment in the, put in the comment section which one you want. The first one is mixed reality, right? Mixed reality development. So that's the first series. The second one is going to be conversational bots. That's the second one, conversational bot. So we've already done bot composer framework. So we'll be looking at Alexa and Google Assistant, these two. And the third one would just be regular, stack, regular, just any other thing that but the key things, one, mixed reality on either the HoloLens or the Oculus Rift. The second one will be conversational bot specifically for either Alexa or Google Assistant. And the third one can be any other thing you want us to look at. So, to tease you a bit, so would it be HoloLens? Someone says no, this is an actual HoloLens, right? So would it be the HoloLens, and that is using the mixed reality toolkit or any other tool available, or or would it be the Oculus Rift? And this is the Oculus Quest or anything, or let's say it's just Oculus, right? So this is the Quest 2, and I must tell you, I've been playing with this thing, and it's crazy. It's mind blowing. So comment and let me know, right? Which ones would you want us to start first with? Is it the mixed reality stuff or the bot, or pretty much any third option you want to put in there? So these are the things. But this year specifically, like I mentioned, we would be concentrating on getting people started. So getting people started on cloud technologies, getting people started on design patterns, getting people started on mixed reality, getting people started on conversational bots and everything cloud native solutions. That's what we're going to be doing, right? We're going to try as much as possible to bring everybody along. Now, here's the thing. Anytime you have any ideas or concerns or things you want to try out, or probably stuff that's not working, you can reach out to me on any of my social media handles, all right? And then we can together, think through it and make it work, all right? So back to the question to when are we connecting the bot composer framework? This is how I see it happening, all right? We can decide to do that last bit for bot composer framework, so that is checked off, or we can pretty much, do that on the blog site as kind of like a side thing, not necessarily on the show. But if you want it again, comment. Let's see which one wins, and then hey, we're going to do that. All right. Now, a couple of things that I want to throw out to all of us. I've been thinking about, there are a couple of things that have been making waves, specifically Web 3.0, right? Some people are enthusiasts. Some people think it's just a hype. Some people are concerned about, decentralized systems, no governance. Some form of governance, but not in a way that, the big corps, the big tech giants or corporations will be, enthused about. But the question is that, would it be the same giant corps being part of it, controlling some... food for thought. Let's think about it. Yeah, conversational bot. Okay, cool. Let's see. One count. Conversational bots. Someone says conversational bot. So pretty much that is one thing for us to think about. So for me, it's good to learn about it, see what it holds. Like, one of my teachers always told me, Sam, if you find yourself anywhere and they're learning to even, drive a tractor, whatever it is, learn it. If you have the opportunity, learn it. You never know. But then again, it's all these things have, are evolving, right? I'm following keenly, just like the way I'm excited about the metaverse and all that, and I'm making strides in, at least putting my foot somewhere in there. That's something that, and talk about that. There is before we finish, I want to share some things that I find that are very interesting and intriguing. We'll share that right now for you to see. So for me, Web3 is one of the things. The other thing that, we're talking about is NFTs, right? Non-fungible tokens. This whole thing about NFTs. I saw a meme that said, so in the past, being an art thief meant, breaking, trying to outsmart sensors, security protocols, and all that. But today, stealing a piece of art is pretty much just Control C, Control V, and that's it. But that's a funny thing, non-fungible tokens. That era as well, where a lot of people are vested in it. This will play a part in metaverse, because then in your digital ecosystem, you want to own stuff. All right, so you see how the pieces of these things are connected, and these are some of the things that I feel, as a developer, you should have some form of experience or exposure to, because it helps you. All right, it helps you, put yourself out there when things change. Let's see. But is Web3 truly decentralized? Hey, Alex. Good question. So here is the thing. All right, if you look at everything or all the documentation, so everything that is being written about Web 3.0, it is to move away from the so-called centralized, owned by one corp and all that system, to a more peer-to-peer, decentralized blockchain kind of thing, right? So which means that it is going to be decentralized, so to speak. But at some point, if you follow the trend, some school of thought will tell you that at some point there's going to be I've forgotten the name. Is it DAO? Hold on. Let's see. Let me look this up for you. DAO. I've forgotten the full acronym, but what that means is technically there's going to be some form, exactly, now decentralized autonomous organization, right? So DAO, not data access. That's people. Some of you were thinking if your program is, so that's what it is. Decentralized autonomous organizations, right? Now, from the definition, and here I'm just looking. Actually, let's go do this. So you realize that I'm not making this up or anything. I remember the concept. All right, I remember the concept, and I'm just looking that up. Hold on, just give a sec. Let's bring this out here. Let me do this. So let's do this. Let's go here. So I think I realized that I did an update, and my, how do you call it? My OBS switched. My OBS switched again. There we go. This is what I wanted. Whoa, that's huge. Yeah, just a sec, guys. I'm now doing OBS settings. And then anyway, it's all part of the tech. So yeah, I have a very funny setup. Okay, awesome. So if we go here, I just want to put myself back in there. Awesome. That fixes it. Why did they fix it on other places? Yeah. Tech. Alexa, let me just show you this. So yeah, there we go. Awesome. So there is this school of thought, all right? This is what it means. This whole thing about decentralized autonomy. Now, per the definition, they are saying that this is going to be like people with enough tokens, right? People with enough tokens will now be the group of people to call the shot on what has to be done and what doesn't have to be done. So again, there is that form of, that there's some group of people with the power, to do stuff. In as much as it's going to be peer-to-peer, it's still, going to be, under some control of some people. So here, let's look at this. And this is not, and trust me, guys, this is not me forming anything out. I just know about it. I know about the DAOs, and this is it. It says that one of the major features of digital currencies is that they are decentralized. Now, hey, welcome. So one of the let's do this. Yeah. So it says that this means they are not controlled by single institutions like a government or a central bank, but instead are divided among a variety of computers, which is the decentralization or the blockchain, right? And note, in many cases, virtual currencies make use of their decentralized status to attain levels of privacy and security that are typically unavailable to standard currencies and their transactions, all right? Now, so a DAO was an organization, right, that was designed to be automated and decentralized. It acted as a form of a venture capital fund based on. Now, this is talking about it in terms of the crypto, all right, in terms of cryptocurrency or digital currency. But in general, they are seen as, people say it's automated, but they are seen as, the body or group or, the peers with highest tokens or biggest tokens to control or determine the standards or ways of this whole decentralized thing. All right. So that is my fear. That is my worry, that in as much as we want it to be autonomous, decentralized, and all that, it is still going to have some form, all right, some form of control by some people. Right? So, I mean, if you ask me, I have my fingers crossed. I'm still, I'm looking at what's going to happen, but I have my fingers crossed. The other thing I want us to take a look at when it comes to this whole metaverse and digital world thing, I don't know how many of you know about this site. It's called Earth 2. Now, what you're seeing up there are people actually buying a digital version of our current planet. Yes, a digital version of our current planet. So what's happening now is that if you look here, people are buying. So let's say, let's do this. Let's go check it out. So, and here again, the question of who not okay. So I won't say who authorized, but the question is that so the question is, under whose control are these people, all right, selling the digital earth? Is it that, okay, I sit somewhere without any regulation, hey, I've created a very beautiful app, and all it does is that it segmented the whole world or the whole planet into blocks of whatever, and I'm selling those. And what you're seeing here, people actually trading. I'm trying to see, yeah, let's go to Byland. I'm trying to show you something. Now, this is just one of it. Now, again, if these people here, right, are supposed to say they are the authorized realtors or owners of the digital world, all right, and therefore in the metaverse, if you want to design or put up your own building in the metaverse, you need to buy land from these people. Think about it. You see where that's going, all right? So there is a lot of a lot of stuff that one needs to that one needs to consider. So it's just one of the things. So here, if you can see, people are, so for instance, let's see. People are just buying, and this is, hold on, this is supposed to be Ghana. And the funny thing is, so I'm currently in Accra, Ghana, all right? And when I checked, I realized that even in Ghana, all right, people are buying, people from other parts of the world are actually buying our location. Like, people are buying right in Ghana. I just want to show, let's see if we can, let's just show the map. All right. Let's just show the map. And then let's see. Yeah. And that's the funny thing, because you see, people are buying. People are just, let me do this. Let me look for, let's say, let's do Accra Mall. All right. Yeah, there you go. No. Let's do Accra. No, let's even just do Accra, Greater Accra. Let's just do Accra, Greater Accra. Now, take a look at this. So this is Accra. Now, do you see what's happening? This is Accra currently, and I can see Germany, United States, Turkey, Britain, Italy, Switzerland. Like, people are just buying. All right. So in the physical, in the metaverse or in the digital world, people are owning parts of Accra digitally, and it's just going to be. And here disclaimer: I don't know. I'm not really invested into figuring out, is this a consortium of people? Like, are they the final authority? Because don't forget, Microsoft, Meta, former Facebook, has created its own metaverse, Horizon, all right, which probably is not technically tied to, any location physically, but this is what these people are doing. So in the near future, is it saying that if physically I want to claim or I want to build something, would it belong to this person here, and I'll have to buy it from the person? Something to think about. So I don't know if Alex, that answers your question, especially about the whole decentralization. There's still going to be some form of a control going on. So, but this is just something that I felt was interesting to share with you guys. There's another one that, let's see, that I had wanted to share. No, we've talked about this. I showed you that already. Yeah, so that's it too. Yeah, so technically that's it. There's a lot of stuff going on, which I think it's a good time to be a developer to learn how to do some of these things, so that you can position yourself for all the dynamic changes that are probably going to happen. So don't feel left behind. There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of tools online. There are a lot of people. There are people like me that are sharing content almost every day, and you can connect with any of us. Have questions and learn. The key thing is to dedicate your time and be passionate about it. And this is the time, because if you don't do it, hey, you will be left behind. And then you feel that, hey, there's a question of machines are taking our jobs. But if you position yourself very well, you can be part of the group of people that are building solutions and building these things for the machines to function. So that's my take on it. So don't forget, conversational about mixed reality development using either HoloLens or the Oculus Quest, any of the Oculus devices. Whichever wins, we're going to start the episode from next week. So yeah, this one, if you have any questions, I will take it. But apart from that, a couple of things I'd want to, there's some tools I want to share with you, which are, pretty much developer tools, especially if you want to get into any of this whole AI stuff. Let's talk about platforms. Yeah, we have a couple of minutes. And yeah, I'm still taking questions. So if you have any questions, you can drop them. It can be related to what we talked about or any general tech questions you have. Don't forget, today is also Ask Me Anything. So you can ask me any questions and I would answer. Now, let's share a few, how do you call it? Let's share a few things. I'm going to share a few tools with you. So mixed reality or cross-platform or what, extended reality, however we want to call them. All right. I've explained the difference between mixed reality, virtual reality, and augmented reality. All right. So basically, they all play in different spectrums. All right. Where augmented reality keeps you aware of your current environment or presence, right? So you're still aware of your environment with augmented reality, and then you can superimpose digital asset or interact with digital things in your world. Mixed reality, all right, is a combination, or let's talk about virtual reality. Virtual reality is the case where you technically are not out. It's a completely projected environment, not necessarily where you are. You're transported into a completely different environment or terrain, right? And you're not technically aware of your physical environment, but your new environment. Now, where mixed reality is kind of like the borderline between augmented and then virtual reality, all right? So if we go back to the bench, the HoloLens, this HoloLens, you realize that it's just technically kind of like it's just like glasses. All right, let me bring this into the main screen so you can see it. So if you look at the HoloLens, it's just more like you're wearing glasses. All right, so which means if you put this on, you're still aware mostly in your environment. I know what's happening in my environment, right? So this works in the areas of both mixed reality and augmented reality. All right, so this works in that ecospace or that space. Now, on the other hand, if you look at the Oculus, right? The Oculus, technically, you're not seeing anything. So that operates mostly in the virtual realities. When I put this thing on, I'm teleported into a new environment. And then pretty much I explore that environment or do stuff in that environment, right? Let's see if I can bring this. There are tools like, how do you call it? There are a lot of tools that do a lot of stuff for augmented reality, and I think on the show, in subsequent shows when we're talking about them, I'll try to beam or get you feed from both the Oculus and then the HoloLens, so you can see how they look on the show. Augmented reality is being used in a lot of places. Like for instance, Pokemon Go is a very common use case for augmented reality. Where you're finding things in your physical world. Other ones are IKEA and other shops are now using augmented reality for you to place 3D objects in your room to see if they fit in your room before you go and buy them in the shop, right? Some companies, glassware companies are, glasses you can try a pair of glasses on, like filters, just like your Facebook and Snapchat and TikTok and all these filters. You can try them on if it fits, and then you can actually order the product. So there are a lot of use cases, for it. Alexis, it too is really, but it's brought this thought to mind. Let's say in a few years' time, there's a few virtual ads. How is buying land now becoming profitable if in all can Spain? Exactly. So that's a valid. That's my concerns. my sentiments as well, because like I was saying, that's what I'm saying. There has to be some form of a governance, right? So Air2 has started. They're technically the pioneers of this whole thing in this space, right? I don't know of any other. If anybody knows, you can drop it in the, and then we can talk about it. But they have pioneered it. So the question is, today I can say, wow, this is very awesome. What if I also do the same thing? Because nothing, unless of course, and here's the case, unless of course they have a patent or something that exclusively says, hey, this is an ingenious idea, and therefore they have a patent pending for this. That honestly, I don't know. But assuming they don't have, that means that any entity can also, spin up. This is at 3, at 4, at 5, at 6, or twin something. And they can also, mark up, like as you're seeing right now, they can also mark up the earth into different blocks and say, hey, I'm selling it at this point. Then what happens when two people buy the same plot or the same, land from two different agencies? So these are some of the concerns and questions that we need to be asking, or these are some of the ethical things we need to be looking at. But I want to believe that at some point, especially for this kind of thing, there will be some form of regulation. And that's why for me, and get this, decentralized technology, I don't have any issue with decentralized technology. It's an awesome technology. But in the application of it, that's where the problem is. All right. So for instance, you can have a group of banks say, hey, want to decentralize, and then they form kind of like, a blockchain. That's super, because they are entities that are well known and established. All right. So therefore, that's nothing, there's nothing wrong with it. Assuming in terms of government, for the sakes of preventing fraud, corruption, and all that, if all the state agencies decide to say, hey, we want to go on a blockchain, and that's for government. So all the state agencies are on a blockchain, and any data issued and, all is verified, invoices that are being issued, it's all verified. I don't have a problem with that. Very, awesome use case. But when you start to have independent, individual, personal on a blockchain, no, technically no, how do I say it? Credibility, because if I'm on a peer-to-peer network, you don't know what I'm doing, all right? Yeah, the fact that the data is replicated multiple times on another system doesn't mean that, I might not be wrongfully using the data. You get the point? So it raises concerns. And Alex, I side with you with that. It's a problem that, some way, somehow, solutions have to be found, for. So that's a valid point. In which ways, it's not bad learning how to create it. So, I would do that. And yeah, that's just it. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this coming Sunday, myself and Daryl Ladapo will be doing a Twitter Spaces, and the content for this Sunday session is creating content for techies. So if you're on Twitter Spaces, join us. I think it's 6 p.m. GMT, which is 7 p.m. West African time. So 6 p.m. GMT, you can join us on Sunday. This coming Sunday, we'll be talking about creating content for techies. So yeah, myself and Dara, Tech Bros, don't miss that out. Yeah, so that's a very valid question. Yeah, other interesting stuff. Anyway, I think we have a couple of minutes to hit the hour, but let me share the tools that I find interesting. So if you want to create extended reality in the sense that we're cutting across, virtual, augmented, mixed, all of it. All right. And this is not to say that we're being biased and starting with it. It's just the fact that because we're talking about the metaverse and all that, that's why I'm bringing this first. I'll also start to share tools for bot creation and stuff as well in subsequent episodes. So, if we talk about platforms, right? Platforms that allow you to create some of these content. Let me open my list here. And this is not in any specific order, right? Let's go to here. So we have Adobe Aero, which is an augmented reality authoring and publishing tool from Adobe. So if you already have investment in Adobe, you can look at Adobe Aero. Allows you to create some awesome augmented reality stuff, and you realize that it's more specific, creating augmented reality. So not mixed. It has pretty much specific scope, right? So that's the first one. The second one is not in any order on my list. We can talk about something called Spark AR Studio. the Spark AR Studio, right? So Spark AR Studio from Meta or our friends from Facebook. You can also use that. That's another. It's a platform. So what the ones I'm showing right now are platforms. So platforms in the sense that they provide you all the things you need to, you need to create your AR, AR content. All right. So these are all platforms. So we have Adobe Aero, we have Spark AR, just mentioning a few of them. And then, and then we can call it a good show today. And and then the second one is the Alt Space VR, right? And this is coming from people from Microsoft. So it's also a good space. They have both the Alt VR space for events, and then they have, the tool for you to create your own VR environment and, pretty much create your events and stuff. I've attended a few VR things using the, the Oculus, and then also just the regular computer as well. And it's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting thing. And if you didn't know, you could actually even use Microsoft Power Apps to do some AR stuff. Yeah. That's interesting. That's surprising, right? Yeah. And maybe I'll be showing that on the Power Series show sometime in one of the episodes. Yeah. Power Platform allows you to also add, AR or models into your views. Yeah. And then the last one is Reality Composer. There you go. We can open this up. And then, yep. And so these are platforms, all right? These are platforms that you can use to create, go in there, use all the tools and things they provided for you to use. So we started from Adobe Aero, we talked about Spark AR, we talked about Altspace VR, and then how Reality Composer. This allows you to also create, augmented reality stuff, all right? So let's get rid of all these, considering the fact that I'm using the same machine to do the streams, so we can keep it nice and tidy. Now, then we can talk about ones that if you're, the first one also, you can term it low code because a bunch of drag and drop and a few things. Now, if you're a programmer and want to use hardcore platforms that allow you to pretty much, code your own thing, you can use things like Unreal Engine. If you don't know Unreal Engine, well, it's a solid tool for building games and stuff. So Unreal Engine is one of it. You can't talk about Unreal without talking about Unity, right? Unity as well. Unity Engine. Unity Engine is another one that allows you to also build stuff. You can also use Visual Studio. Yeah, Visual Studio and some other, Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code with some extensions will allow you to also create. Someone is saying, really? Yes, really. Yes, really. You can use Visual Studio Code. There is also Lens Studio, right? There's also Lens Studio. That's from Snapchat, right? To create augmented stuff. And then you can talk about Stereo Kit. Stereo Kit also allows, but there's more code, there's more code driven. So Stereo Kit can also help you. Now, from the JS perspective, you can also use Babylon. Babylon JS allows you to also create augmented and stuff for the web. Now, in terms of toolkits, right? So toolkits, more of integrating with your workflow and pipeline. You can use the Mixed Reality Toolkit from Microsoft. The Mixed Reality Toolkit from Microsoft. You can also use the Virtual Reality Toolkit, and then there is the XRT, XR Toolkit. Then you can also use an extra interaction, but primarily you can use the Mixed Reality Toolkit and the Virtual Reality Toolkit from Microsoft to, pretty much create that. So, yeah, this is what time will permit me for today. We're trying to keep it under wraps. It's being almost like an hour, talking about what to expect. I will still be following the chat to see what the votes are, whether we want us to start with a mixed reality AR development series. I mean, bare bone beginner to a certain point where you can pick up, or you want us to do the conversational bot, Alexa, Composer, Alexa, Google Home, Google Assistant, however you want to call it, or, any other thing. It could even be 3D printing. No, but 3D printing, So for those that are joining and don't know a lot about my streams, I stream 3 times a week. I stream on Tuesdays on IoT, so that's why I do AI, IoT, and robotic stuff. And then on Fridays, I do general Demystify tech. But for a long time, it has always been the Microsoft ecosystem, especially on Microsoft Azure and Microsoft tooling. That's what I've been doing for the past 2 years or so. But now trying to bring in other tech stack, because it's a general technology demystifying, so any tech that goes. And then on Sundays, I do exclusive Power series, which is on the Power platform. So pretty much that. So if you subscribe to my channel, I have all those playlists. It's one channel, but with all those playlists. I might spread them at some point, but now it's just me creating content, so you can look at all the content. I am naturally enthusiastic about all these things: gaming, mixed reality, 3D animation and stuff. And that's something you're going to be seeing. I'm working on something I'm going to unveil soon. So where you might come to my show and might see my avatar do this. So instead of seeing me asking my face, I mean, you'll be seeing my avatar doing all the talking in a virtual environment, but pretty much it's me doing the talking, but being, streamed by an avatar. So that's a cool project. And when I'm done, I'll show you on the show. I'll actually walk through how I built it using the tools and all that. So yeah. And hey, if you want to support the show, hey, we love it. Some of these things are quite expensive to acquire, and we're using it to share the knowledge. So hey, anything is welcome. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's have some fun. It's Friday. Stay safe. And yeah, tomorrow, I am not sure. Let me get this correct, please, because if I don't, I'll be doing you guys at the service. And especially this for those in Accra, Ghana. There is an event happening tomorrow at the Accra Tech Lab. I'm trying to look at the poster so I can get it. Yeah, so there's something by the IoT Network Hub. It's some kind of like exhibit, some kind of a meetup at the Accra Tech Hub, or Tech. Is it Accra Tech Center? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah. So that's it. If you happen to be in Accra, you want to pass by, yeah, please do. Oh, sorry, it's at the Kofi Annan Center. AITIKIC, Kofi Annan, Institute. That around the Parliament House here. Yeah, it's the Kofi Annan Center. So yeah, you can pass by there, see some exhibitions and interact with people and have some fun. Well, yes, I remain Samuel Adran, yours truly, bringing you another awesome episode. Feel free to reach me on any of my social media channels if you have any questions, if you have any solution or project ideas. Yeah, we'll make it. Think about it. We have a 3-in-1 snap maker from that CNC, laser cutting, and then also 3D printing. So we can take any idea from conception all the way to birth. So join me on Sunday for Power Series and come back here for another dose of it next week. Till then, stay safe. Let's love each other. Peace. Let's make peace and not war. Prayers to all the guys in Ukraine and out there. Let's pray for peace. Learn something new. Stay safe, and let's make the world a better place through technology. As I always say, be safe, and I am out.